Let's begin. If you've ever reached for your partner in the middle of the night, only to realize your body didn't respond the way it used to, this message is for you. Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night, reached out for your partner, and realized your body just didn't respond the way it used to? You weren't stressed. You weren't tired. The desire was there, but something else, something deeper, wasn't quite showing up. You lie there, quietly wondering, is this just part of getting older? Or is there something wrong with me? You might even whisper to yourself, is this it? Is this the end of that part of my life? If you've had that moment, I want to start this video by saying something clearly. You are not alone. In fact, you're in very good company. I've seen that moment written on the faces of thousands of men over the past 3 decades. Fathers, veterans, grandfathers, husbands. My name is Dr. Michael Bennett. I'm a board-certified urologist and men's health specialist. I've spent over 30 years walking with men through some of their most private personal challenges and helping them come out the other side stronger, more confident, and more connected. And today, I want to start a conversation that's long overdue. Because here's the thing. Most men over 60 think that when things stop working in the bedroom, the only solution is more pills. But what if that's not true? What if the answer isn't another prescription bottle, but something simple, discreet, safe, something you might already have tucked away in your nightstand drawer? Now I know what you might be thinking. Come on, doc, it can't be that simple. But sometimes the most powerful solutions aren't the loudest. They're the ones that help you work with your body, not fight against it. In this video, I'm going to share with you 6 key things every man over 60 should know about a small, flexible tool that's helped countless men restore not just their performance, but their confidence, dignity, and connection with their partner. It's called a penis ring. Yes, I said it out loud, and if that made you feel uncomfortable, I get it. Most men don't like talking about these things. Not with their friends, not with their spouse, and certainly not with their doctor. But let me be the one to say what you might need to hear. Intimacy doesn't become less important as we age. If anything, it becomes more meaningful. It becomes more about closeness, trust, shared laughter, the comfort of a familiar hand in yours. But when your body doesn't cooperate, it's easy to start pulling away emotionally too, not just physically. I've sat across from men who told me they stopped initiating touch because they were afraid of disappointing their partner. One man said, "Doc, I feel like I've let her down, like I'm disappearing." I don't believe any man should have to carry that feeling alone, because the truth is, sometimes the body just needs a little help. And that help doesn't have to mean needles, surgeries, or side effects. Sometimes it's something small and brilliant, something designed to support what's already there. So in this series, I'll walk you through what a penis ring is and what it absolutely isn't, how it works inside your body, gently and naturally, who should and shouldn't use it, the safety rules every man needs to know before trying one, the real benefits, and yes, the honest downsides too. And at the end, I'll share a powerful story of one man who thought his love life was over until he found the courage to try something new. You don't want to miss that. Before we go any further, I want to invite you to do something simple. If this message is already starting to speak to you, if part of you feels seen or curious or even just hopeful, go ahead and hit subscribe. This way, you won't miss the rest of this series that's made just for men like you. And if you're still here with me right now, type yes in the comments to let me know you're listening. Not for me, but for you. Because sometimes, the smallest step forward is simply acknowledging you still care, you still want connection, you still want closeness. And guess what? It's not too late. Let's begin. So let's talk about something that most men never bring up, not with their friends, not with their spouse, and definitely not at the doctor's office. And yet, it matters. It matters more than we give it credit for. Today, I want to answer a simple but essential question. What exactly is a penis ring? And just as important, what is it not? Because you may have heard the term before, maybe even seen one online or at a pharmacy, but without context, it's easy to brush it off. You might think, that's just for young guys looking to experiment, or that's not something real men use. Let me assure you, it's not a gimmick, it's not a toy. It's a medically approved tool that, when used correctly, can help support erections in a natural, practical, and surprisingly effective way. Here's the simplest way to describe it. A penis ring is a small, circular device, typically made of soft silicone or rubber, that you wear at the base of the penis. It's not worn all day. It's not something you wear under your jeans at the grocery store. It's only used when you're aroused or planning for intimate connection, and only for a short amount of time. So why does it matter? Well, many men I see, especially over 60, can still get an erection. That's not the problem. The challenge is keeping it. You might start off fine, but then it fades, too soon, too fast, and sometimes with no clear reason. And that can be frustrating, even heartbreaking, especially when the desire is still there. The penis ring helps by applying gentle, even pressure at the base of the penis. That pressure helps trap the blood that's already there, helping you stay firmer, longer. Let me be very clear. This tool doesn't create an erection. It's not a magic switch. You still need arousal. You still need desire. But once your body responds, the ring helps you hold on to that response, giving you more time, more control, and more confidence. Now I want to share a story with you, a real story, one I'll never forget. A man named Yasil came to my office. He was in his late 60s. He'd been married for 42 years. He loved his wife deeply. They had grown up together, built a life, raised kids, shared triumphs and losses. But over the past year, something had quietly shifted. He still felt the love, still felt the desire, but his body wasn't showing up the way it used to. He tried pills. They gave him headaches. He considered injections, but the thought made him anxious. Surgery? Too extreme. He looked at me and said, "Doc, I don't need to be 25 again. I just want to feel like a man, even if it's just for a little while." And I looked him in the eye and said, "Let me show you something simple, something real, no tricks, just science." That was the first time he heard about the penis ring, and like many men, he was skeptical. But once he understood how it worked and why it wasn't about ego, but about restoring connection, he agreed to try. A few weeks later, he came back. Same man, but lighter somehow, he told me. It wasn't just the intimacy, Doc. It was the smile on her face after. It was feeling proud again. Friends, that's what this is about. Not youth, not performance for performance's sake. It's about reclaiming a part of yourself that might have gone quiet, but never disappeared. So as we move into the next part of this series, I want you to keep this in mind. A penis ring is not a trick. It's not a sign of weakness. It's a smart, safe, and practical way to support what your body is still capable of. Used correctly, it can be a bridge between frustration and fulfillment, between doubt and confidence. And if you've ever felt like your body was betraying you, maybe it's time to stop blaming yourself and start giving your body the help it deserves. Coming up next, I'll walk you through exactly how this tool works inside your body on a biological level. Because when you understand the science, the shame starts to fade. And that, my friend, is when healing begins. Let's take a moment and talk about something most men never learned in school: how an erection actually works on a biological level. I know, not the kind of thing that usually comes up at dinner parties, but understanding this, truly understanding what's happening inside your body, can be the difference between quiet frustration and quiet confidence. So let's go back for a second. Imagine you're in your 30s again. You feel desire, you get aroused, and everything works like clockwork. Why? Because back then, your blood vessels were in balance. Arteries brought blood into the penis quickly and fully. Veins trapped that blood long enough to keep you firm. It's a beautiful synchronized system. Fill and hold. But over time, and this happens to every man, not just you, that balance starts to shift. And it's not because you failed. It's not because you're broken. It's just aging. It's natural. Your arteries might narrow a bit. Your veins, especially the ones responsible for holding the blood in, start to lose tone. They become a little too relaxed. So what happens? Even when you do feel aroused, the blood starts leaking out too soon. You begin to lose firmness, even in the middle of intimacy. The desire is still there. The will is strong. But your body cuts the moment short. We call this venous leak, and I see it every single day in my clinic, especially in men over 60. In fact, it's one of the most common causes of erectile difficulties in older men. The good news? Venous leak is one of the most manageable challenges when you know what to do. And that's where the penis ring comes in. When used correctly, snug but not tight, it gently compresses the base of the penis, right where those leaky veins are located. That light pressure acts almost like a valve. It slows the blood from draining out too quickly. Let me be clear again, the ring does not create an erection. That still comes from desire, arousal, and touch. But what it does is help you hold on to what's already happening, giving you more time, more consistency, and more presence. I want to tell you about George, one of my patients. He's 71, widowed for several years, recently started dating again, a woman he deeply admired. He came into my office with a heavy heart. "Doc," he said, "I still get excited, I really do, but it fades too fast." She says it's okay, but I feel ashamed. We talked for a while. I explained what venous leak is, and how it's not a character flaw, but a circulatory issue, as real as gray hair or sore knees. And as I explained, I saw something change in his eyes. Not because he suddenly understood all the medical terms, but because he finally realized it wasn't his fault. We decided to try a penis ring, along with a gentle vacuum device to help him get started. 2 weeks later, he came back to my office, with tears in his eyes. He said, "Doc, I felt like a man again, not just because I performed, but because I wasn't afraid anymore." That's the real power of this little ring. It's not about youth. It's about dignity. About getting back to a place where you feel capable, confident, and present in your most intimate moments. And here's what I tell all my patients. A penis ring doesn't fix the underlying issue. It's not a cure. It's a management tool, like reading glasses for your eyes or a cane for your knees. It supports what your body still has, even if it's not quite what it used to be. And for many men, that's more than enough to bring back not just pleasure, but peace of mind. So now that you know what's really happening inside your body and how the penis ring works with that biology, the next question is just as important. Is this the right tool for you? Because as helpful as it can be for many men, it's not a one-size-fits-all solution. There are real risks if used incorrectly, and real reasons some men should avoid it altogether. So in the next part of this series, I'll help you figure that out. We'll talk about who should, and who definitely should not, use a penis ring. Stick with me. Your body and your partner will thank you. Alright, by now you understand what a penis ring is and how it works inside your body. But here's the thing I've learned after decades in medicine. It's not just about how a tool works, it's about who it's meant for and who it's not. Because the same device that helps one man reconnect with his partner can cause real harm to another if used without proper judgment. So let's have that honest conversation. Let's start with who a penis ring is actually for. From my experience, the best candidates are men who have mild to moderate erectile dysfunction, especially those whose erections fade too quickly due to venous leak, the issue we discussed earlier. If you can still get aroused, if you can still achieve some level of firmness but it just doesn't last, this might be a great tool for you. I also recommend penis rings for men who struggle with performance anxiety. Not because they can't get started, but because the fear of losing the erection midway creates a vicious cycle. Worry leads to loss of firmness, which leads to more worry, which leads to avoidance altogether. In these cases, the ring acts almost like training wheels for the mind. It offers a kind of physical reassurance. Once you realize you can stay firm, the anxiety often fades on its own. And yes, some men use it not because they have ED, but because they want to enhance sensation, control, or intimacy. They tell me it helps them feel more present, more connected, more alive, and at this stage of life, that's a beautiful thing. But now we have to talk about the other side of the story. Who should not use a penis ring, or at the very least, use extreme caution. If you have reduced sensation in your groin or genitals, for example, due to diabetes or nerve damage, you may not be able to feel if something is wrong while wearing the ring. That's dangerous. One of the most common mistakes I see is men leaving the ring on too long because they didn't feel any discomfort until it was too late. Second, if you're on blood thinners, your risk of bruising or internal bleeding increases. Even a small amount of pressure can cause damage if your blood can't clot properly. Always talk to your doctor first. Third, if you've ever had priapism, a condition where the penis stays erect for hours without relief, you should avoid using a penis ring entirely. The added pressure can trigger another episode, which may lead to permanent damage or even require emergency intervention. And lastly, this one is more common than people think. If you tend to fall asleep easily after intimacy, especially after drinking alcohol or taking medication, a penis ring might not be safe for you. Why? Because the ring must be removed within 30 minutes, no exceptions. If you forget or nod off, you risk serious tissue injury. Now let me tell you a quick story. A man named Frank came to see me. 68 years old. Retired teacher. He tried ED medications, but they gave him terrible side effects. Headaches, red skin, racing heart. He felt embarrassed, defeated. He told me, "Doc, maybe this is just it, maybe it's over." But after a thorough checkup, I realized Frank was actually a great candidate for a penis ring. He could still get an erection, just not for very long. No major nerve issues. No blood thinner meds. So we tried it. 2 weeks later, he came back with a quiet smile. "Doc," he said, "I didn't expect it to work. But it did. It gave me hope." And sometimes, that's the most powerful thing a medical tool can offer. Not just function, but hope. So here's the takeaway. A penis ring is not a toy. It's not a gimmick. It's a tool. And like any tool, it requires honesty. Are you the kind of man who pays attention to his health? Who's willing to learn? To follow the rules? If so, this might just be the first step towards something meaningful. Because in the right hands, and with the right mindset, this tiny ring can offer more than firmness. It can offer freedom. Let me be very honest with you. No matter how promising a tool is, if it's not used safely, it's not worth using at all. And that's especially true when it comes to penis rings. Over the years, I've seen firsthand how something designed to restore confidence can quickly turn into a medical emergency, just because someone didn't know the rules. Or worse, they thought the rules didn't apply to them. Let me share a story from my early days as a resident. A man in his late 60s came into the emergency room. He had used a homemade ring, cut from the top of a plastic soda bottle. He thought he was being creative, saving money, but he left it on too long. By the time he came in, his penis was swollen, bruised, and in serious danger. We had to call the fire department to help remove it. He was in pain. He was humiliated, and he was terrified he'd done permanent damage. That experience has never left me, and it's why I always speak plainly when it comes to safety. So here are the non-negotiable rules every man must follow before using a penis ring. First, only use rings made for the human body. Never use items from your tool drawer or kitchen. No bottle caps, no rubber bands, no metal, no hardware store hacks. Only use medical-grade rings made of soft, body-safe silicone or elastomer. These are designed to apply gentle, balanced pressure without cutting off circulation. Second, never wear the ring for more than 30 minutes, even if things are going well, even if you feel fine. Time passes quickly during intimacy. You might not even notice. So set a timer on your phone. Make ring removal part of your aftercare routine. Why? Because extended use can cause serious harm, bruising, numbness, nerve damage, or even tissue death. If you feel pain, tingling, or notice your penis turning pale or blue, remove the ring immediately. Those are warning signs, and your body is trying to protect you. Third, always use a good water-based lubricant. This helps you put the ring on and take it off smoothly and safely. But here's something important. If you're using a silicone ring, don't use silicone-based lubes. They can degrade the material and cause the ring to break down. Stick to high-quality water-based lubricants and reapply if things start feeling dry or sticky. Fourth, never fall asleep while wearing the ring. You might think, "I'll remember to take it off." But after intimacy, especially if you've had a drink or you're feeling relaxed, it's surprisingly easy to drift off. Set a reminder. Make it automatic. This small habit can save you from serious regret. Fifth, ask for help if you're unsure. Whether it's your doctor, your partner, or even a reliable online guide. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Learning how to use the ring properly is not a weakness. It's wisdom. In fact, it shows that you care. About your body. About your relationship. About doing things the right way. I want you to enjoy your intimacy. I want you to feel strong, capable, connected to the person you love, or even just to yourself. But I also want you to be careful, because used correctly, this little ring can be a gift. Used carelessly, it can cause lasting regret. Safety is not a limitation. It's empowerment. It's what allows you to take back control without fear. And one more thing. If this message spoke to you, if you learned something, or even just felt seen, do yourself a favor and click the subscribe button right now. And while you're at it, hit the bell icon so you won't miss what's coming next. These conversations are made for men like you, men who are still curious, still capable, and still committed to living fully. You're not too old, you're not broken, and it is absolutely not too late to reclaim your strength. There's a moment I always look forward to in my practice. A man, usually in his late 60s or 70s, walks into my office after trying something he wasn't sure about. He's standing a little taller, his handshake is firmer, and when he sits down, he doesn't ask a question or voice a complaint. He just smiles. That's when I know something shifted. Not just physically, but emotionally. He feels more like himself again. And you know what? That moment, that quiet return of dignity, is what so many men experience with a penis ring. You see, these devices are small, simple, but for the right man, at the right time, they can offer something deeper than just firmness. Let me break it down for you. First, it's non-invasive. No pills, no surgery. One of the biggest reasons men love penis rings is that they don't require changing your body. There's no needle, no medication with a long list of side effects, no surgery, no permanent alterations. It's just a tool. You use it when you need it, and when you don't, it stays in the drawer. For men who've had bad reactions to ED pills, or who simply don't want to add one more prescription to the list, this feels like freedom. And for many, it's also about control. You choose when. You choose how. Second, it's drug-free, a big win for older adults. A lot of my patients are already managing diabetes, high blood pressure, or heart conditions. Adding ED medication into that mix, it can get tricky. You have to time it, monitor blood pressure, and deal with potential side effects like headaches or nasal congestion. With a penis ring, none of that applies. It's a physical solution to a physical challenge, with no chemicals involved. That means fewer worries, fewer surprises. And for some men, that alone is worth everything. Third, it's affordable and accessible. While medications can cost hundreds, every month a quality penis ring, usually under $50. And in some cases it's a one-time purchase. No insurance forms, no pharmacy lines, no waiting for refills, or worrying about what your plan covers. You buy it, you learn how to use it, and it's yours. Some newer rings even come with tracking features, monitoring firmness, duration, or blood flow over time. I've had patients use that data to guide real conversations with me during checkups. Not just, is it working, but here's what's actually improving. That's real insight, and that's progress. Fourth, it brings back confidence and connection. Now this is the part that matters most to me. I hear it again and again. It made me feel like a man again. Not because the ring magically fixed everything, but because it gave him a chance to show up with confidence, to stay present, to offer intimacy without interruption, without apology. That kind of emotional shift, it's powerful. One couple, married for over 40 years, came to see me. The husband was embarrassed to talk, but his wife held his hand and said, "We just want to feel close again." After trying a ring for the first time, he told me it wasn't just the sex, it was lying there afterward, not worrying if I disappointed her. And that's when I knew this wasn't about performance, it was about presence, pride, peace. Fifth, you don't have to be in a relationship to benefit. Let's be clear, this isn't just for couples. Many older men use penis rings during solo intimacy. Why? Because it helps them stay connected to their body, their energy, their sense of self. It keeps blood flow healthy. It helps maintain function. And sometimes it simply reminds you, I'm still here. I still matter. Of course, no tool is perfect, and we'll talk about the common downsides and mistakes in the next part. But I want you to hear this today. If you're still hoping for closeness, if you still want to feel connection, strength, and joy, this small ring might just be more powerful than you imagine. And sometimes it's not about fixing anything. It's about remembering who you are and showing up in that truth with courage. Next up, what to watch out for, the downsides, and how to avoid them. Stay with me. Let me be honest with you. No solution is perfect. Not pills, not surgery, and not penis rings either. Every tool has its upside and its potential downside. And being aware of those risks is not about fear. It's about being smart. Today, I want to walk with you through the real-world challenges some men face when using penis rings, and more importantly, how to avoid common mistakes so you can use this tool safely and effectively. Let's start with the most common issue: discomfort or pain from improper fit. If the ring is too tight, it can cause pain, numbness, or even coldness in the penis. That's your body saying, hey, something's wrong. Some men think more pressure means better results. It doesn't. This is not about squeezing harder. It's about supporting circulation, not cutting it off. The best approach is to start with a softer, adjustable ring. Follow sizing guides. Try it for a few minutes first, not during intimacy, but just to test comfort. If you feel tingling or discoloration, take it off immediately. Next, frustration with sizing. Not all rings are created equal. Some are too small, others too loose, and when it doesn't fit right, it can shake your confidence. Consider trying a multi-size kit. Many reputable brands offer sets with several options. And remember, it might take a bit of trial and error. Don't give up after the first try. Getting the right fit is part of the journey. Third, ejaculation changes. This one surprises a lot of men. A ring can sometimes delay ejaculation or change the sensation. For some, this is a welcome bonus. For others, it can feel odd or incomplete. Know that this is normal and temporary. As you adjust, your body and mind may sync up better with the new sensations. If it's bothersome, experiment with timing. You may need to remove the ring before climax. Fourth, loss of spontaneity. Let's be real. Adding a device changes the rhythm of intimacy. It might feel awkward at first, stopping to apply lubricant, positioning the ring, or setting a timer. The key is to talk to your partner. Make it part of the shared moment, not a disruption. With practice, many couples find it actually brings them closer. It becomes part of the intimacy, not a break from it. And finally, emotional resistance. This might be the biggest hurdle of all. Some men feel embarrassed needing a device. They think, shouldn't I be able to do this on my own? Here's what I tell them. You use glasses when your vision fades. You use a cane when your knees weaken. This is no different. Shift the mindset. This isn't about weakness, it's about wisdom. Choosing a tool that works is not giving up. It's stepping up. It's taking ownership of your health and your happiness. I won't lie to you, there are adjustments. There may be moments of discomfort or doubt, but those moments pass. What stays is what this tool gives back: connection, confidence, control. And if this message has helped clarify something for you, or even just made you feel seen, I invite you to hit that subscribe button. This journey isn't about perfection. It's about progress. You're not broken, you're becoming, and you deserve to feel like yourself again. I want to close with something that goes beyond science or technique. I want to share with you a story, a real story, one that still moves me every time I think about it. His name was Robert. He was 73 years old. He walked into my office with a quiet sadness. Not depression exactly, more like a kind of distance. He told me he'd lost his wife to cancer 5 years earlier. They had been together for nearly half a century. I never thought I'd fall in love again, Doc, he said. But then I met someone. She's kind, patient, beautiful in that effortless way. And now that I'm with her, I feel things I haven't felt in a long time. But there was a problem. Robert couldn't maintain an erection. He still felt desire. He still had the spark. But his body wasn't cooperating. I waited so long to feel this way again, he said, his voice breaking just a little. And now I'm scared it's too late, that I can't show up for her. We talked honestly about pills, about options, and eventually about penis rings. He was skeptical, like most men are at first. Isn't that just a gimmick, he asked? I smiled. It's a tool, one of many, but the real shift comes from how you choose to use it. He agreed to try. He listened. A couple weeks later, he came back. He didn't walk in with a smile. He walked in with a presence, taller, calmer. He said, "We laughed, Doc. We didn't rush. I didn't panic. She knew. She helped. It wasn't just about the erection. It was the closeness, the connection. I felt like myself again." That's what this journey is really about. Not fixing something that's broken, but remembering something that was always there. Your capacity to feel, to love, to show up with presence and pride. Let me tell you something else about Robert. That wasn't the end of his story. It was the beginning. Over the next few months, he came back for check-ins, not because he had problems, but because he had progress. His relationship grew stronger. They traveled together. He started volunteering at a community center, mentoring younger men. He even spoke at one of our patient workshops, sharing his experience. "Don't be ashamed," he told the group. "Don't wait too long like I did. If you still want love, if you still want life, go for it. It's worth it." Robert's courage changed lives, not just his own. That's the power of reclaiming your story, of refusing to accept decline as destiny, of seeing your health not as a problem to hide, but a path to healing. If you've seen yourself in Robert's story, or if you've simply felt the quiet ache of wanting more intimacy, more connection, more life, then know this: you are not alone. You're not past your prime, and you are absolutely not too late. Whether you choose to try a penis ring or not, I hope you walk away with something more important than any device. Hope. Hope that you still have choices, that you still matter, that you can still feel proud of who you are and how you love. This is what I've devoted my life to, not just restoring erections, but restoring confidence, closeness, and courage. You deserve intimacy. You deserve joy. You deserve to feel like yourself again. And if you're ready to take the next step, even if it's a small one, I'm here. So don't wait for the perfect time. Don't wait until you feel ready. Start with something small. A conversation, a question, a moment of curiosity. That's how change begins. And if this message has touched you, please share it with a friend, with a partner, or just someone who needs to know they're not alone. Because stories like Robert's aren't rare. They're just rarely told. Be well. And remember, it's never too late to reclaim your story. Here we are, the final chapter of this journey together. If you've been with me from the beginning, I want to say something very personal and very sincere. Thank you. Thank you for your time, your openness, and your courage. Because this hasn't been just a talk about penis rings. It's been a conversation about aging, identity, intimacy, and rediscovering what it means to feel like yourself again. So let's take a moment to look back at what we've explored, because when you see the full picture, you realize this isn't about a device. It's about reclaiming a part of yourself that matters. First, we talked about the quiet frustration many men feel when their body no longer responds the way it used to. That moment of reaching for your partner and realizing something has changed. We asked the hard question: is this just aging, or is there something I can do? Then we demystified what a penis ring actually is. Not a gimmick, not something to be embarrassed by, but a medically backed, body-safe tool that works with your body's natural function to help maintain firmness longer, without pills or surgery. Next, we looked at the science. We learned how age affects blood flow and how venous leak can quietly undermine erections, even when desire is still strong. We saw how the ring can help slow that leak and why it works for many older men. We also addressed a critical question: who should and shouldn't use a ring? We talked about safety, health conditions, and how to know if it's the right choice for you. Because not every man needs the same approach, and that's okay. We followed that with the essential safety rules: how long to wear it, what to look out for, and how to protect yourself. Because even a good tool only works well when used wisely. Then we explored why so many men love the ring, the freedom it gives, the confidence it restores, the joy of reconnecting with your partner, with your body, and with yourself. After that, we were honest about the downsides. We talked about discomfort, awkwardness, emotional resistance, and how to move through those challenges with patience, preparation, and care. And most recently, I shared Robert's story. One man's journey from grief and fear to connection and joy. A reminder that transformation isn't just for the young, it's for anyone willing to try. Now here we are, and you may still be wondering, should I try this? I can't answer that for you, but I can tell you this. If you still feel desire, if you still long for connection, if you still believe that intimacy matters, even at 60, 70, 80, and beyond, then you owe it to yourself to explore your options. A penis ring is not a miracle, it's a tool. But in the hands of a man who's ready to care for himself with honesty and intention, it can be the beginning of something meaningful. Don't let shame be the reason you stop. Don't let outdated beliefs keep you silent. You are not broken. You are human. You are evolving. And the truth is, men like you are rewriting the story of aging. You're showing the world that this stage of life isn't about slowing down. It's about showing up with wisdom, presence, and yes, even passion. So here's my invitation. Talk to your doctor. Talk to your partner. Talk to yourself. Ask the questions you've been afraid to ask. Try the things you've been curious about. Start small, but start. And if you found value in this message, share it. Because there are millions of men walking the same path, feeling just as alone. Let's build a community of men who support each other, not in shame, but in strength. Final message. You are not past your prime. You are not invisible. And you are absolutely not done. This is just the beginning of a new chapter. One where you're in charge. Where intimacy, dignity, and confidence are yours to reclaim. Thank you for letting me walk with you. Be well, be bold, and be kind to yourself. I'm Dr. Michael Bennett, and I'll be right here whenever you're ready for the next step. If this journey has touched you, even in a small way, please consider subscribing or sharing this message. Not for me, but for someone else who needs it. You deserve to feel like yourself again, and it starts today.